Hello, my name is Randy Duncan, and I will be talking briefly this morning about reliability and validity as they relate to developing your own indicators. As you've come to realize by now, using this workbook, an indicator of client change requires some type of measure to collect the corresponding data. First, it is important to understand that using a reliable and valid measure is going to be important for your evaluation in regards to the quality of your data. In other words, being able to talk about the consistency or the repeatability of your measures. Let's start with reliability. And the best way to conceptualize reliability is to think about it in terms of consistency and how you go about collecting the data for your evaluation. Consistency has to do with both the conditions under which the measure is administered. For example, all the staff agreeing that a baseline assessment should be administered by the end of the second clinical session after intake. And further, how similar an assessment would be for a client if they were assessed at the same point in time by two different clinicians. The latter condition refers to inter-rater reliability, and it makes sense that you would want a high degree of consistency among clinical staff in your program in terms of their respective abilities to assess the same client. While reliability by itself is not a sufficient condition to demonstrate meaningful client change, paying attention to how consistently a measure is administered is a necessary condition for getting at where you really want to go, that of having a valid evidence-based practice. To examine validity, you need to think about it in as straightforward a manner as possible. In other words, given the measure I am using, am I actually measuring what I think I am measuring in terms of client change? As such, try to think about what you do clinically in terms of how your treatment model and services are contributing to meaningful and measurable client change. You are now looking at a graphic that we've tried to incorporate into this presentation to illustrate reliability and validity. The first target tries to show reliability without having any validity, the idea being that you'd like to be closer to the center of the target. The middle slide shows validity in that you're hitting the target, but there's no consistency in the pattern around the bullseye. The third target really demonstrates what you want to go after, which is how reliability and validity come together to provide the best evidence-based practice. If you have any further questions about reliability and validity from either this presentation or the workbook, don't hesitate to get in touch with myself or any of my STREAM colleagues to help you out with these issues. Thank you very much for your time and attention to this presentation.